All right, I'm just start the recording. Perfect. And hello, everyone. It's so nice to see you again. Welcome to the second day of the 3-day Venus Challenge. It's so nice to see you guys again. I hope you had an amazing day yesterday. I hope you were excited by the new cycles of Venus. And I'm really excited to be here today because today is going to be so awesome. We have a very special guest joining us today. His name is Tata Alberto. We'll bring him on very soon. First, I'll just make a small short introduction just to introduce him. And as always, as I told you yesterday, we like to always start in the same way, which is by doing a little invocation, just to set the energy right, to start connecting ourselves. Today is especially important because we're going to be doing a Maya ceremony, and that's really exciting. So I'm just going to share the slide again, as I did yesterday, on the screen right now, and we're going to do the invocation. As I said yesterday, there's nothing special that you need to do. Just do whatever is born from your heart. If you don't want to do anything, don't do anything. If you want to read it out loud with me, read it out loud with me. If you want to do your own version of it, if you want to meditate, everything goes. So I'm just going to read this out loud and we're going to get started with the event afterwards. So at this moment, before beginning this conversation, we want to take some time to remember our creators and makers. Alom, Caholom, Tzakol, Pitol, Tepeu, Gukumats, and show them our gratitude for giving us the gift that is life. We say, Matiosh Ukushkach, Matiosh Ukushuleu, heart of the sky and heart of the earth. Thank you to the energies of the 4 directions of the universe, the 4 elements, the 4 colors of corn, as well as their guardians. We especially call upon the energy of the word so that all of the words that are shared here can be flourishing and help us connect to one another. We ask this energy that the words that we put out with our voices are carrying and of value to the world. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so let's get started. I'm just going to quickly share a quick slide about the Venus calendar just to remind you guys. By the way, if anybody's joining for the first time and you missed yesterday, there was a recording sent out via email, so don't worry if you missed yesterday. I do highly encourage you to go and check out everything that we talked about, but just like a little refresher, right? So yesterday we learned all about the calendar of Venus. The calendar of Venus can be found in the Dresden Codex, which is one of the very ancient Maya codices. Venus brings to us, as we learned in the first day, cycles of transformation, cycles of renewal, and cycles of personal and collective growth. It brings a lot of change. The energy of Venus, as I said, can be very intense, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. It's a really good energy. However, we do have to learn how to navigate it, how to work with it. Otherwise, all of that energy and that intensity can just be a lot, as I mentioned in the first class yesterday. But today, in order to learn how to navigate it, we're going to be doing one of the most ancient Maya practices. Not one of the most, actually, the most ancient Maya practice. What we're going to be doing today is called the Mayan fire ceremony. Mayan fire ceremony is the word that we say in English. In most Maya languages, this is known as a kotzich. Kotzich translates to flower. This means basically it's a gift that we bring to Mother Earth. Just like when you're in love with someone, right? Or like when you really have a lot of love for someone, you might bring them flowers, right? Like your romantic partner, your mom, your sister, somebody that you love for their birthday. When you want to show them your love, you bring them flowers. In the Maya tradition, the Kotzich or the Maya fire ceremony is a way of saying like, I love you, Mother Earth, is a way of saying thank you for everything. So I'm just going to spend a few minutes explaining what's the point of a Maya fire ceremony and why it's the single most practiced spiritual practice in the Maya tradition. So in the Maya world, we have the concept of Toj. Toj is Toj, Toj. And Toj is the concept of gratitude, basically, in the Mayan world. And that's the reason I was telling you, right? Like we start the sessions with a little invocation of gratitude. But in the Maya world, you don't just start a meeting or a session or a practice with an invocation. You start your life with it. You start every day with it. Every single day, it is traditional to wake up before the sunrise and to light, even if it's just as simple as lighting one single candle or something like that, and to say thank you. And you spend a few moments saying thank you to the earth, thank you to the sky, thank you to the sun, thank you to the moon, thank you to the plants, thank you to the trees, because I'm still alive. And think about that for 1 second. I encourage you to think about how amazing is it that we're all sitting here right now and that we're still alive, that we woke up yet again, that we're still here. What a miraculous, incredible thing is life. How profoundly beautiful is it? I know life can be hard because we also explored yesterday concepts such as Shivalva. Shivalva means the trials that we sometimes face. We all face difficulties. The Maya acknowledged that there is duality, that there is something such as light, but also such as darkness, that there is good and there is bad, that sometimes we have to deal with difficulty in life. But regardless of that difficulty, regardless of how sometimes we can feel fear or pain or experience things that are not so easy to go through, intensity and all of that, the Maya never stopped practicing the toch, which is the payment, which is the gratitude. Because even if we're going through all that, just take a moment right now to literally just look around you. How crazy is it that you're here? And who should you be grateful for? For the fact that you're here. You should be grateful for the earth, because you would not be able to exist if this planet did not exist. So we should say thank you to Mother Earth, because she's our creator, because she enables our existence. Because if she did not exist, we literally would not exist. But it's not just the earth that provides us our existence. The Maya say thank you. Mateo shukush kach, Mateo shukushuleu. Thank you, heart of the sky. Thank you, heart of the earth. What do I mean by that? Heart of the sky, because we could not exist without the sun. What would happen if the sun would disappear today? Well, a catastrophe, obviously. Like everything would collapse. We would all die pretty soon, right? But what would happen also if the moon did not exist? What would happen without the solar system? What would happen without the Milky Way? We exist because the Milky Way exists. We exist because the solar system exists. We exist because the sun exists. We exist because the moon exists. We exist because the earth exists. We exist because the magma exists. We exist thanks to water, because if there was no water to drink, we would all die pretty quickly. If there was no air to breathe, we would all die within minutes. If we would all, if there was no earth, if there were no plants, if there was no food, if there was no soil, if there were no animals or no trees, all of that is what the Maya believe is the basis of life. Is to say thank you, because who pays, right, for the use of the air? Who pays for the use of the water? We don't often pay for that. We pay, but in the Maya tradition, we do pay for it. We pay with gratitude. We pay by saying thank you. And this is a practice that is done since the time you're little. Your parents bring you to Maya fire ceremonies. Your dad tells you, my dad always told me, okay, Sulvay, kneel, because if there's somebody you owe respect to, it is the water. If there's somebody you owe respect to, it is the trees. It is the sunlight. It is the moonlight. It is the earth. You kneel down now and you kiss the earth and you say thank you. And I think that that's a big difference between the Maya tradition and the modern Western world, that we forgot to be grateful. And the Maya left a big warning. What happens when you forget to be grateful? What happens when you forget to have respect for the creators of this existence, for the things that enable this existence? you're bound to not see the sacredness, the life in them, the life that not only exists within them, but the life that they provided to you. And when you forget that, you might start seeing them as mere resources. And what's happening in the modern world, we're seeing every single one of those things as mere resources. And, and we're just exploiting them, right? We're doing so much deforestation. We're doing monoculture. The modern day agricultural practices, don't even get me started on that topic, but the modern day agricultural practices, the way we're exploiting the water, the way we're exploiting the earth, the way we're exploiting the trees, we're destroying the biodiversity, we're destroying everything. And it's ridiculous. It's self-sabotage, because if all of those things collapse, we're also going to end up dying too. We're also going to end up destroying ourselves as well. So I told you yesterday, the Mayas, they were not polytheists, which means they did not believe in many gods, but they also did not just believe in one God. When my dad met his teacher, my dad asked him, "Who's your God? Who's the God that you believe in?" And the teacher said, "Firstly, we don't even have the word God." But the Spanish language, said his teacher, falls too short to translate what we say, the word that we use for when we refer to the thing that would be the most similar to God. But his teacher said to my dad, "Carlos, if I had to explain you who my God is, I would say my God is the God of the 1,000 faces, because it's in everything. My God is in the trees. My God is in the monkeys, is in the jaguars, is in the mountains, in the volcanoes. My God is in the sky, and it's in the earth, and it's in the plants, and it is in you, and it is in me. My God is the manifestation of everything in this existence and everything in this creation." And what I do in the face of my God is I just sit in front of the fire and I say thank you. And in the Maya tradition, there are tens of thousands of sacred sites where the Maya have been doing Maya fire ceremonies for literally thousands and thousands of years. And every time you do this, is not a sacrifice. That wouldn't even be the right word to use here. Is this practice. And I always grew up having so much admiration for this, because I grew up going to Maya fire ceremonies with my dad. And when we grew up, we didn't have a lot of money. We were the kind of family that, could barely, like, my parents sometimes would not eat so that the kids could eat, and for me, something that I never really processed this until I was an adult was, it's so crazy that my dad still went and made the effort to spend the money that he did not have in going to the markets here and buying candles and buying incense and buying cacao and buying all of these herbs and all of these plants, and planning these trips to go visit Maya sites. And then we would go and travel for hours and wake up at 4 in the morning and travel somewhere. And then we would have to hike a mountain or just go down into a cave in the middle of nowhere, 5 hours. And we would carry all of this material that we paid our money that we didn't have in order to reach this Maya site, in order to, go and then burn all of that. And that's something that people have a hard time understanding. But for the Maya, the importance of gratitude is so profound. It is so incredibly deep that the effort that they make in order to just say thank you, because of course you should do this. You should just wake up in the morning and light a candle and say thank you, even if it's just for 10 minutes. That's already a game changer. But I swear to you that if you spend days making an effort, you go and you hike a volcano just to light a fire, and all you do is sit in front of that fire literally for hours, just saying, "Thank you, water, thank you, water, thank you for my life, water. Thank you, air, thank you for my life, air, because without you, I could not exist. Thank you, earth, thank you, sky." Literally for hours, because that's what a Maya ceremony is. Not today, by the way, it's going to be a small one, right? Literally for hours. Sometimes you're sitting there for 5 hours. I swear, eventually that thank you, that gratitude starts hitting differently when you're deep inside of nature, when you've made all this effort, when you've gone the extra mile just to sit down in front of the fire and say thank you. And the Maya believed that this is an essential practice that the modern world has lost. Many people say, I don't see what's the point of that. Like, who cares? Like, what's the point? Like, why make such a big effort? What's the point? But when you're raised like this, when you don't let more than 20 days pass by without doing this, when you constantly do this and you're constantly saying thank you to life for everything that you have, thank you to all of the natural elements of this mother nature, of this existence, of this creation, something in your brain changes. The way you view life changes. Your mindset, your paradigm, the way in which you experience existence is healing for you, but it also makes you a better person. It makes you a person that's going to have more respect. Look at how right now we go and do deforestation and we just cut down trees. In the Maya tradition, if you're going to cut down a tree, you bring incense, you bring candles, you sit with the tree for 1 hour, you apologize, you talk to the tree, you explain to the tree that you really need it, and that's the only reason you're going to be cutting it. And that to me is more balanced. The way in which you consume meat, right? Like the way they treat the animals, they explain to the animals why they're going to be killing them. They give the animals a good life. It just makes for a way more balanced life. And that balance goes outwardly in the way in which you communicate with your community, in the way in which you communicate with nature, but it also goes inward. Behaving like that makes you an emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually healthier and more balanced and more harmonized person. So there is a point to doing this, and that's what we're going to be doing today. And the great teacher that's going to be guiding us through this, his name is Tata Alberto. He is an Akij. Akij means a Maya spiritual leader who comes from the Cachiquel nation. I wish I had hours to just tell you his life story because it's wow. Like this man is absolutely remarkable. He's an activist. He's a pillar of his community. He's a person who had a hard life and transmuted that darkness into light in ways that are admirable and that we could all truly learn from. Every time I'm going through a hard time in my life, I remember how hard Tata Alberto's life is and how okay he is. And I say, okay, it's possible. We can do it. He's truly incredibly admirable. But he's also incredibly intelligent, incredibly educated. He has devoted the last few decades of his life to collaborating with other teachers of the Maya tradition and truly studying it. He is in collaboration with a few other Akihab from his community right now, and they're studying the ancient codices together, studying the ancient books together, trying to bring up again the wisdom of the Maya tradition. And he's amazing. So I'm just going to spotlight him now and we're going to get into it. And just by the way, we'll guide you through it. If you brought something with you, just have it with you. If you brought cacao with you, because I know some people were asking, just sip on it as soon as we start sipping on it throughout the entire ceremony. If you brought candles or incense, I'll just tell you when to light them. And if you brought anything else, just have it in your space with you. So I'm just gonna, what? Um, we're gonna just spotlight Tata Alberto, but Tata Alberto has to turn on his camera so that we can spotlight him. Okay, that's my niece Eline, the camera woman. Eline. And we're gonna let you unmute yourself in a second, Eline.
Le da espacio para que traduzca.
Perfecto, ahora sí te escuchamos bien. ¿Tú me escuchas a mí?
Días
Sí.
a todas y a todos.
Hola, Tata.
Día del día, Nahual No. Les damos la bienvenida a todas y a todos.
Good morning to all of you. In the face of the energy of Nawal Noh, it's a pleasure to greet every single one of you. So we're going to get started. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the spotlight away from myself so that you can see Tata Alberto in the big screen because I'm just going to be in the background translating.
Es un día muy especial como todos los días, pero es muy especial en cuanto a poder tener nuestra energía mental positiva nuestra energía mental positiva espiritualmente para que tengamos esa comunicación con el cosmos.
Today, according to the Cholquij calendar, we're being carried by the energy of Noh. And today is a very special day. Even though every day is special, today is extremely special because today is a day in which we can specifically work on the mental energy that we have and the power of our brain and our communication with how can we heal our minds and how can we heal our brains. And this day also brings us a great communication with the cosmos.
Nuestras abuelas y nuestros abuelos, según el relato de nuestro libro sagrado, el Popol Vuh, nos dice que juntaron sus palabras y unieron sus pensamientos. La unidad hizo que ellos fueran grandes pensadores y esa es la fortaleza nuestra, que hasta el día de hoy estamos tratando la manera de recuperar nuestras raíces.
Our grandmothers, our grandfathers, and our ancestors, as narrated by the Popol Vuh, say in it that they came together and they joined together the power of their words and they united together the power of their thoughts. And that's why they were able to achieve such great things. And today, our mission is to recover that culture, to recover that ancestry, and to recover that power that was left to us by our ancestors.
En este momento voy a terminar de colocar el material para posteriormente dar inicio a lo que es el fuego sagrado.
Perfecto. So in this moment, what I'm going to do is finish placing the offerings that we brought for this Maya fire ceremony. And after that, we're going to initiate with the sacred fire. And as he does that, Eline can show it a little and I'll explain it to you guys. So what you see there, the brown bowls, I don't know if you know what I mean. That's called pom. That is resin that comes from the pine tree. Everything brown that you see there is pom. It's resin that comes mainly from the pine tree, but there's also different types of resins that are used. The different kinds of incenses that are used all have different meanings. Some are to cleanse the space. Some are utilized as offerings for the earth and for our ancestors. And he's going to use not only pom, but I'm sure he also utilized all different kinds of resins, all different kinds of incenses. Those brown sticks that you see there are called ocote. Ocote is very traditional in the Maya tradition. It even appears in the Popol Vuh in the story of Xibalbá, the Maya underworld, as a tool that was able to bring light in the darkness. It represents the trials that the hero twins Hunahpu and Xbalanque had to go through when they were facing the darkness of life, facing the darkness of Xibalbá. And the ocote was a tool that represents bringing light, being conscious, being astute, being able to overcome the difficulties of our lives. The brown square thing that you see on the top is panela, which is basically very raw, natural brown sugar. And that is utilized to make the messages of the fire easier to read for the arquij, as well as to sweeten the energy of the ceremony for everybody who is present, and is also used as an offering. Right now, he's placing candles. The candles have meaning. The colors of the candles have meaning. As you can see, the black color is, of course, facing the west. The black represents, okay, I'll do it in a different order. I'll do it in the right order. So soon he's going to place the red candles. The red candles are always facing the east. The red color represents the color of our blood. It represents the color of the red corn because there are 4 colors to corn. The 4 colors of corn are red, black, white, and yellow. And those colors all have a meaning. So the red represents the light. It represents the upper world. It represents the sunrise. It represents the strength, the energy of the day, the light of the day. And it represents, of course, the red corn. The black is facing the west. It represents the black corn. The red represents the fire as well, by the way. The black represents the earth. It represents the black corn. It represents the sunset. It represents the darkness, the night, the Xibalbá, the trials that we sometimes have to go through. So red and black come to represent the duality, and they have an equal amount of space, as you see in the ceremony. Then he's going to place the white candles in a moment. Those are facing north. The white candles represent the energy of the element of the air, the element of the wind. They represent the power of the mind. They represent the white corn. And the yellow to the south represents the energy or the element of the water. It represents the yellow corn. It represents the south of humanity. And together, all of them, because if you look at the corn cobs in all of the colors, there's different tonalities of red, different tonalities of yellow and bronze, different tonalities of black and purple, different tonalities of white. So together they also represent all of the different races of humanity, the four colors of corn, all of the four corners of humanity, the four corners of the earth, all of the different peoples that have inhabited this world and this planet, and all of their wisdom. And in the ceremony, it is traditional to acknowledge all of the people, all of the nations, all of the races of humanity and their wisdom and their knowledge. And soon he's probably going to place a few different colors. Let me see. Yes, there you go. So now he's placing the green. The green color represents the heart of the earth. It represents nature. It represents abundance. It represents prosperity. But especially it represents the green that is nature and the connection to the heart of the earth. And now he's probably going to place blue. Let's see. Yes, he's placing blue. Blue represents the heart of the sky. It represents the cosmos. It represents outer space. It represents also that duality between the heart of the sky and the heart of the earth. Both are equally important in the Maya tradition. It represents the astronomical events, everything that happens in outer space and how it affects us, which, we already started learning a little bit about that yesterday. And that is tabaco. That's tabaco. Tabaco in the Maya tradition is an incredibly powerful medicine. It's used for its healing properties, is used during medicinal practices, and it also has a great connection to the teachers of the underworld or the teachers of Xibalbá. Just like I told you that Hunahpu and Xbalamque utilized the ocote while they were in Xibalbá, they also utilized the medicine of tabaco while they were in Xibalbá to overcome the darkness, to use it as a healing medicine in order to be able to go through the trials. And in the modern Maya tradition, tabaco is used by healers and Maya spiritual leaders in order to be able to heal people both energetically and in order to be able to heal people as well spiritually as well. Tabaco is an incredibly powerful medicine that, by the way, you have to be trained in order to use it properly, but I can tell you, it's amazing. I am. The candles he just grabbed right now, those are super important. Those are Sevo candles, which means in English, I think they're called tallow candles, maybe. They're basically animal wax candles. And in the ancient times, those were the only candles that were used because nowadays, when you buy candles, they're usually like made out of paraffin or something. But tallow candles were the ones that were utilized in the ancient time. They have a great symbolism because as the Maya used to go hunting and they would hunt animals such as the deer, for example, They would eat the meat, they would use the skin to make instruments, for instance, but then they would use the animal fat to make the tallow candles. And this was a symbolism of being able to share your food with your ancestors, of being able to continue to remember your ancestors. So tallow candles or cebo candles are the ones that we offer the most when we're doing practices that are related to remembering our ancestors, healing our ancestral lineage, or just honoring our ancestors in general.
En este momento voy a dar inicio al sagrado fuego. Vamos a invocar a las 4 esquinas del universo, a la salida del sol. Invocamos a la abuela Cajapa Luna y al abuelo Padam Kitse.
In this moment, I'm going to start invoking the energy of the 4 corners of the universe. We're going to start by greeting the sunrise, the east. And in that corner, we invoke the guardians of the east, the grandmother Cajapa Luna, and the grandfather Balam Kitse.
Invocamos también la energía de la abuela y el abuelo en el poniente, en donde son guardianas y guardianes, el abuelo Balama Ab y la abuela Chomha.
And then after I invoke the energy of the east and its guardians, I'm going to invoke the energy of the west and its guardians. The guardians are Balamakav, grandfather Balamakav, and grandmother Chomija.
Invocamos de esta manera también la energía de la abuela Sununija y el abuelo Balam Makakutaj.
In the same way, we're going to invoke the energy of grandmother Sununiha and grandfather Balam Mahakutaj.
Cerramos también con la invitación a la energía de las abuelas y los abuelos, la abuela Kakishaha y el abuelo Ir Balam.
And in the same way, we're going to invoke the guardians, grandmother Kakishaha and grandfather Ikbalam.
Invocamos la energía de nuestro creador y formador, corazón de la madre tierra también, al sagrado fuego, al abuelo Rukushkaj, corazón del cielo.
We're going to invoke the energy of our creator and maker, the energy, of course, of the heart of the sky, the energy of Ukushkaj, of course, as well as the energy of Ukushuleu. Ukushkaj means heart of the sky, and Ukushuleu means heart of the earth.
Y de esta manera invitamos también a los sagrados cerros, valles, montañas, a los sagrados volcanes, especialmente aquí tenemos cerca a Hunahpu y a Abit y a Catenango.
And in that same way, we're going to invoke the spirit and the energy of the sacred hills, of the sacred mountains, of the sacred valleys. And specifically where I'm located, I have very near me the volcano Hunahpu, Hakavitz, and Acatenango.
Pues con el permiso de las energías voy a dar inicio al sagrado fuego.
So with the permission,
Solamente decir que los 6 colores que hemos colocado en lo que es la ofrenda floral, estamos viendo los 4 colores del sagrado maíz, que acá en el pueblo maya se le da mucho énfasis porque es nuestra alimentación: el maíz rojo, el maíz negro, maíz amarillo y maíz blanco.
so with the permission of all of those energies, then I will light the sacred fire. And the 6 colors of candles that I placed on the ceremony as offerings are very meaningful, especially those that represent the sacred colors of corn. There's 4 colors of corn, and in the Maya tradition, this is extremely sacred to us. Corn is sacred to us because it has a lot of spiritual symbolism, but also because it is the source of our agriculture and the source of our food. And we have red corn, black corn, white corn, and yellow corn.
Esos 4 colores también nos representan los 4 pueblos que cohabitamos nuestra madre tierra. Los de piel roja, piel morena, piel color de bronce y los de piel blanca.
And those 4 colors also represent the 4 peoples that inhabit and share this Mother Earth. Those that have red tone skin, those that have bronze tone skin, those that have black tone skin, and those that have white tone skin.
Con el permiso de las energías, voy a dar inicio a la sagrada ceremonia.
With the permission of the energies, I will begin the sacred ceremony. And so you guys can also light your incense. You guys can also light your fire, by the way, as we're getting started now.
Corazón del cielo,
Heart of the
Corazón.
sky. Heart of the
Energía.
earth.
De este sagrado día ante el Nahual Noj, pedimos el permiso al Creador y Formador.
Energy of the sacred day of Nahual Noj, in front of you, we ask for the permission to begin this ceremony in front of the Creator and Maker.
Oh Creador y Formador, te damos las gracias en nombre de todas las hermanas y hermanos que están conectados en diferentes lugares de nuestra madre tierra. Sean todas y todos bienvenidas y bienvenidos a este sagrado lugar en donde invocamos la energía de los sagrados cerros para que fortalezca y aperture la mente y el caminar de cada una y de cada uno de los presentes.
O Creator and Maker, on behalf of all of the people, the brothers and sisters who are joining us here from all over the world, we ask you for permission to begin this fire. And we say gratitude to you in order to begin this practice. In front of the energy of Noh, we welcome all of you. And we also ask the creation that it is able to clean your minds. It's able to open your hearts and is able to help you walk in a clear, open path thanks to this practice.
Voy a dar inicio con el conteo, con la primera trecena que voy a iniciar ante Nahual Noj y vamos a concluir ante Nahual Toj.
I'm going to start counting the energies of the Cholquij and honoring every single one of those energies. Starting with the energy of Noj, I'm going to begin with the first trecena. Perdón, Nahual Noj, y vamos a concluir en Toj, ¿verdad?
Ajá. 1, Kaiti Hash, Oshikabu, Kahia Pu, o Imoy, Wahibi, Wukubakabal, Washapikat, Belhetkan, Lahu Kame, Kulahukie, Kapukani, Osh, Lahu Toj, 13 Toj.
So we're starting by calling and invoking the energy of Toch, which I just explained, by the way, is the energy of gratitude, of fire, of payment.
En nombre de todas las personas que están conectadas, hermanas y hermanos, damos este pago espiritual en nombre de cada uno de ustedes. Que nuestro Creador bendiga ese tiempo valioso que presentes a través de esta conexión y agradecemos al abuelo Tojil, a Bilish, a Abi y Macacuta.
In the name of all of the people who are joining us here, we're going to give an offering, and that offering is the payment that we offer towards existence as the gratitude that we have towards the existence that we all have. And also he wants to say thank you to every single one of you because he knows that you're spending and in order to say your gratitude to the creation and to the Mother Earth. So we say thank you to Tojil, Abilish, Hakavitz, and Mahakutah.
En esta trecena que vamos a iniciar, lo voy a iniciar ante Nahual Te y llegamos ante Nahual I, Espíritu del Bien.
We're gonna now count the next trecena, which begins with Nahual Tzi and finishes with Nahual Ik. So next we're going to invoke Ik, the spirit of the wind.
La juzga vos, o la juzga, la juzga, osh la juzga. Gracias del viento.
Thank you, spirit of the wind.
A través del sagrado viento hacen presencia las energías de nuestras abuelas y de nuestros pueblos.
It is through the wind that the energy of our ancestors remains present.
En nombre de las hermanas y hermanos que están conectados, agradecemos al espíritu del viento. Gracias, espíritu del viento.
In the name of everybody who's present here today, we want to say thank you to the spirit of the wind. Thank you, spirit of the wind.
Vamos a agradecer ahora, dando inicio ante Nahual Ajabal, llegando de esta manera ante el Nahual del pájaro sagrado.
We're going-
Caikato, Chican, Amigo, Kies, Guapit, Anís, Lukuto, Masakusti, Belhebat, La Jutejo, La Jutata, Pakitish, Osh, La Jutikini. Gracias.
by counting a cabal, and we're going to arrive in the energy of the sacred bird and the sacred birds, Tzikin.
Pedimos ante el Nahual Tiquín para que todas nuestras hermanas y nuestros hermanos que están conectados tengan una visión futurista, una visión espiritual, una visión que vaya acorde, en armonía con todo el entorno de nuestra madre naturaleza.
We ask that everybody here in front of Nahual Tzikin, that all of the people who are present here are able to open their vision in order to have a better future, that they're able to develop their spiritual vision, that their vision, that the vision that they have of life is a vision that is in accordance to living in harmony with all of nature.
En este momento vamos a dar inicio a la trecena. Iniciamos ante Nahual Ahmak y lo vamos finalizando ante Nahual Anís para pedir también por esa semilla que está llegando en la mente de cada una de las personas conectadas para que germine esa semilla en bien y para bien de cada una de sus miembros de la familia.
Now we're going to start counting from Nahual Ahmak, and we're going to arrive in Nahual Kanil. Nahual Kanil represents the seed, and we're going to ask Nahual Kanil that it becomes the seed that is being planted in the mind of every single one of you, so that once it flourishes, it brings good to you personally, and it brings good to your families.
Y esta semilla germine en el corazón y en el pensamiento de cada una de las personas que están conectadas, que están escuchando, que están viendo la acción con el Creador. Gracias, Anís.
May
Gracias.
the seed of Kanil be able to sprout in the heart of every single one of the people who are present here, who are seeking connection to the earth, who are seeking connection with the Creator. Thank you, Kanil.
En esta trecena que voy a dar inicio ante Nahual To, vamos a llegar ante el espíritu del agua de los ríos, que es la sangre de la Madre Tierra.
We're going to start counting now from Nahual Toch, and then we're going to arrive in the energy that represents the spirit of the water and the spirit of the rivers, which are the blood of Mother Earth.
Gran abuelo Cajimosh. Gracias,
Great
abuelo.
grandfather Kahivi Mosh.
Gracias, Juan.
Thank you, Nawali Mosh.
Gracias por darnos esta oportunidad de agradecer la vida. Sin agua no tenemos vida. Gracias.
Nawal y Mosh for giving us this opportunity of being grateful to life. Without water, there is no life. So thank you, Imosh.
Gracias. En esta trecena iniciamos ante el espíritu del viento y vamos a llegar ante el espíritu y la energía de nuestra madre tierra.
In this trecena, we're going to start counting from the energy that represents the spirit of the wind, and we're going to arrive in the energy that represents the essence and the energy of our Mother Earth.
Paz, la protesta, paz. Osh, la ish.
Ish. So now we're invoking the energy of Ish.
Ofrecemos a nuestra madre tierra aroma de incienso,
Mother Earth, we offer you the aroma of the incense.
la llamamos madre porque ella es la que alimenta con las
We call-
frutas, con todo lo que consumimos para nuestra vida material, nuestra vida física. Que reciba la madre tierra el aroma del incienso.
We call you Mother because you're the one that feeds us with the fruits, with the plants, with the food that nourish our physical and material well-being. And so to say thank you, we offer you some incense and hope that you like our gift of the aroma of the incense.
Gracias, madre tierra.
Thank you, Mother Earth.
Cena, vamos a dar inicio ante el nahual del pájaro sagrado y vamos a finalizar ante el espíritu de la autoridad del venado, que simboliza también las cuatro esquinas del universo con sus cuatro patas.
We're going to start counting now from the energy that represents the sacred birds and finish by counting the energy of the authority of the deer, of the four corners of the earth that are represented by the four legs of the deer.
El Jepacabal, la Juzcat, la Juzcan, la Juzcamé, o la Juzquier.
So we call you and invoke you, energy of Kiech.
Gracias, Pablo.
Thank you, Father Kiech.
Pedimos fuerza para
Ya.
cada una de las hermanas y hermanos que están conectados, para que tengan esa habilidad que las abuelas y los abuelos ante Nahual Kiech tuvieron, esa energía.
We ask you, Kiech, for strength for every single one of the people who are here, that they can be strong, that they can inherit that strength that our ancestors have, because that's what the energy of Kiech brings us, the ability to have strength in this life.
Gracias, Nahual.
Thank you, then, Nawal Kiech.
Vamos a dar inicio ante Nahual Janit para llegar con la trecena ante Nahual Ajpú.
We're gonna start counting from Nawal Kanil and arrive in the trecena of Nawal Ajpu.
¿Sí? Kaito, Ochipi, Kajibat, Ooe, Guapit A, Gupuk Ish, Wachapit Sikin, Berhet Ahmak, Lahuk No, Ulahuk Tihash, Kaplahuk Kabo, Osh, Ajpu, tres.
We call upon the energy of Ajpu.
Y el abuelo Ajpú, con su energía, con esa energía que pudo vencer todas las pruebas que pasó en la comunidad de Xibalbá, con el sagrado Cot, con el sagrado tabaco. Hoy agradecemos al abuelo Ajpú esa fortaleza y que todas las personas, todas las hermanas y hermanos que están conectados, tengan esa fuerza y esa fortaleza para curar sus huesos, porque también Ajpú es especialista para curar nuestros huesos. Es la energía de nuestro Padre Sol.
Grandfather Ajpu is the one that was able to defeat the trials of Xibalbá, of the Maya underworld, of the darkness. And he did so by utilizing tools such as the sacred ocote and such as the sacred tabaco. He is the teacher of strength, the teacher of facing the darkness. And so we ask you today, Grandfather Ahpu, that you pass on that strength to the people who are here today, so that they too can overcome the trials of their life. And we also ask that you strengthen our bones, because Ahpu is the doctor, the medicine of the bones.
En esta trecena que vamos a dar inicio, hemos agradecido a Nahual Ahpu, iniciamos ante Nahual Imosh y estaremos llegando ante Nahual Ah.
We're going to start counting from Nahual Imosh and arrive in the Tracena of Nahual Ah.
Ir Oshia Abal, Kafikat, Wokan, Guaquil Kame, Wukukier, Washakit Panis, Belhecto, Lahuk Si, Ulahuk Bat, Kablahuk E, Osh Lahuk Ah.
We call you and invoke you, Ah.
Agradecemos a la energía del Nahual Ah, que son los bonces del hogar. Es el día especial para presentar a las niñas, a los niños, ante nuestro Creador y Formador.
We take this moment to say thank you to you, Ahau Bats, because you are the strength of our home, the one that strengthens our home and our families, as well as you are the energy in which we present the children who are born into this world in front of the Creator and Maker.
Que vamos a dar inicio ante el Nahual Ish. Vamos a llegar ante el Nahual Kameh, en donde vamos a recordar aquellas energías de nuestras abuelas y nuestros abuelos que viven en el viento, en la nube, en la neblina y en el frío.
We're going to start counting from Nahual Ish, and we're going to arrive in Nahual Kemeh. And through Nahual Kemeh, we're going to remember the energy of all of our ancestors, those who live in the clouds, those who live in the wind, those who live in the fog, those who live in the cold.
Agradecemos pues el Nahual con Ish, Gaitikin, Oshiakma, Kahino, Gootihash, Wafit Kabuk, Wukup Akbu, Watapit Mosh, Belhebir, Lahuka Abal, Hulahukat, Kaplahukan, Osh Lahu Kame, 13 Kame. Dios.
We call and invoke you, Kemeh.
Recordamos de esta manera a las grandes lideresas y líderes que tomaron la delantera defendiendo nuestras comunidades. Hoy invocamos a las 20 energías, Unmar, Chikamar, Ahau, Kameh, Unmar, Chikamar, Ahau, Kier.
We remember in this way and say thank you to the great leaders, the great warriors, those ancestors who stood up for our communities, who defended our communities, even at the cost of their lives. And in the same way, we say thank you to the 20 energies of the Cholquij.
Ahau, Ti, Unmar, Chikamar, Ahau, Bat, Unmar, Chikamar, Ahau, Unmar, Chikamar, Ahau, Ah, Unmar, Chikamar, Ahau, Ish, Unmar, Chikamar, Ahau, Tikin, Unmar, Chikamar, Ahau, Akmak, Unmar, Chikamar, Ahau, Noh, Unmar, Chikamar, Ahau, Kihash, Unmar, Chikamar, Ahau, Kawok, Unmar, Chikamar, Ahau, Akpu, Unmar, Chikamar, Ahau, Imosh, Unmar, Chikamar, Ahau, Ir, Unmar, Chikamar, Ahau, Akabal, Unmar, Chikamar, Ahau, Tat, Unmar, Chikamar, Ahau, Kan. Hemos invocado a las 20 energías con sus trecenas, que son 260 energías.
So we thank and invoke the 20 energies as well as their trecenas, which add up to 260 sacred energies.
También vamos a mencionar a las lideresas y líderes, al abuelo,
So we're going to
Capim,
all of the leaders of the Maya world, all of those ancestors.
Belehebkat, Oshipkier, Belehebti, Tecumán, María Tecum, Axumanché, Caibil Balam, Atanasio Tul, Felipe Achoc, Micaela Huarchá, Lucas Aguilar, Manuel Todd, Juan Matalbat, Mamá Maquín, Jacinto Canec, Eusebio Saquit, Julián López Méndez, Catalino Lobo Juárez, Vicente Char, Rosalío Pamal, Germán Sical, Bartolina Sisa, Tupac Camaro, Tupac Catari, Domingo Chocché, Jesús Choquiat, Luis León Silvestre, Domingo Morales, Margarita Cook. Hoy recordamos a cada una y a cada uno de ustedes que viven en la neblina, en la nube, en el viento y en el frío. Sean todas y todos, en nombre de la comunidad de hermanas y hermanos que están conectados, que las energías de sus abuelas y sus abuelos biológicos, y bien los recordamos, aunque no sepamos sus nombres. Aquí hacemos entrega de estas velas.
May you know, ancestors, that you are remembered. We honor and remember every single one of you. And in that same way, we say thank you for everything that you did. And may you all be welcome, energy of those ancestors who live in the wind, who live in the clouds, who live in the fog, and who live in the cold, as well as the biological ancestors who are no longer here, of every single one of the brothers and sisters who is present here today.
Y entregamos el aroma también de los inciensos, y es el agradecimiento que la comunidad que está conectada en este momento.
We also want to
Sí.
offer, perdón. We also want to offer you, ancestors, a little bit of the aroma of the incense in behalf of the community that is here, so that you know that all of us remember you.
En nombre de todas las hermanas y hermanos que están conectadas y conectados, hacemos entrega en nombre de cada una, de cada uno de ellos, estas velas, para que la energía de tus ancestros se unan cada día, fortaleciendo esa espiritualidad y esa conexión.
In the name of all of the brothers and sisters who are present here today, we gift you the offering of these candles and ask you that the energy of their ancestors is present in their life, so that they can strengthen the connection with their ancestors as well as their spiritual connection.
En esa trecena que vamos a dar inicio ante el Nahual, llegaremos ante el Nahual Cabú, el espíritu del rayo.
Now we're going to start counting from Nahual Kiech and arrive in the energy of Nahual Kawok, the spirit of the thunder. Now we call and invoke the energy of Kawok.
Pedimos que el espíritu del abuelo Cabó acompañe a cada una de las personas y hermanos que están conectados en este momento, que el espíritu del rayo les dé su fuerza y su fortaleza.
We ask that the spirit of the energy of Kawok connects to the people who are connected here in this moment, and that the spirit of the thunder connects them to their own strength and their own strength. There's two different words for strength in Spanish.
En esta trecena que vamos a dar inicio ante Nahual Ajpú, vamos a estar llegando ante la energía de la trecena del Nahual E. Agradecemos al Nahual E por ese caminar que cada uno ha iniciado.
And we're going to start counting from Nahual Ajpú and arrive in the trecena of Nahual E. And what we want to do is thank Nahual E for the paths that we're starting to walk in our lives.
Amén. Pues aquí quiere el Jetanis, la Jutok, la Jutsi, la Jubax, Osh, la Jub E. Gracias, espíritu del camino.
Thank you, spirit of the path.
El espíritu del camino donde transitamos todos los días, pero también respetamos al espíritu del camino de nuestro Padre Sol, de nuestra abuela Luna, el espíritu del camino, del espíritu del viento, el espíritu del camino de los ríos y el espíritu de nuestra Madre Tierra que está caminando cada hora y cada 24 horas. Gracias, Nahual.
We connect to you, because you represent the paths that we walk in life. But in the same way, we want to say that we honor the path that every day the Father Sun walks, the path that Grandmother Moon walks, the path that our Mother Earth walks as she follows her cycle of every single hour of movement that concludes every 24 hours. We honor every single one of the spirits of the path that us as human beings, as well as everything in life, follows, the path that the wind follows, the path that the water follows.
Gracias.
Thank you, Nahual.
Ante Nahual en esta trecena y vamos llegando a la trecena del Nahual Can.
Now we open with Nahual and we'll arrive in the trecena of Nahual Can.
O no, Tihash, Lukustabu, Washkitabu, del Hetimoch, Lahu Ulahu Rabal, Kablahu Kat, Osh Lahu Kan.
We call and invoke the energy of Can.
Gracias, Nahual Can, porque tú eres también esa columna vertebral de nuestro cuerpo, dándole esa fortaleza por donde pasa toda la ramificación de nuestro sistema nervioso, para que las hermanas y hermanos que estén conectados sientan esa conexión y esa energía que el espíritu del cosmos y la energía de nuestra Madre Tierra fortalezca su espiritualidad.
Thank you, Nahual Can, because you are the spine that allows for our body to stand, that enables for the pathways of our nervous system to work in a healthy and proper way. So please, Can, we ask you that you bring us the strength that every single one of us is able to feel the energy of the cosmos, to connect to the energy of the Mother Earth.
En esta trecena que vamos a dar inicio ante el Nahual Kamé, vamos a llegar ante el espíritu del Nahual Tihash, espíritu de la piedra obsidiana.
We're going to start by counting in Nahual Keme, and we're going to arrive in the Trasena of Nahual Tihash, which represents the spirit of the obsidian stones.
Tito, Goti, Guapibat, Mutupe, Guatapita, Belhetish, Lahu Tikin, Hulahu Hasmat, Taprahu No, Osh, Lahu Tihash.
We call and invoke the energy of Tihash.
En nombre del Nahual Tihash, que es también energía de las hermanas y hermanas que ejercen la medicina natural. Si alguna hermana, algún hermano siente algún dolor, alguna molestia física, espiritual o emocional, que el Nahual Tihash cure ese cuerpo que es sagrado, que fue creado para el bien común. Gracias, Nahual Tihash.
So Nahual Tihash, what we ask from you is that you give strength to all of the people who might be working with the energy of natural medicine, that you allow them to be good doctors and be able to connect with that medicine in a deep level. And that if anybody here is feeling any kind of ailment, whether it may be physical, mental, emotional pain, spiritual pain, that you heal them, that you give them the strength, that you give them the medicine, because that's who you are, Tihash, the doctor, the medicine that heals us. So let us heal and let us connect to that energy of Tihash. And he said also, he also said, because remember, Tihash, our bodies were built perfectly. That precious body that every single person here has, let it work in a healthy way, in the way that it's meant to work.
Gracias, Juan Quijash. Tú eres médico y medicina que curen enfermedades por muy difíciles y complicadas. Ustedes tienen esa gran habilidad y esa conexión espiritual. Gracias, Juan Quijash.
So yes, Nawal Tihash, you are the doctor, you are the medicine. So help everybody here heal from every single illness that they might be struggling with, as hard or as complicated or as strong as that illness may be, because you, Nawal Tihash, are the miraculous healer, the one that has the strength to heal even the most difficult things. Give them that natural connection to be able to heal themselves.
En esta trecena que damos inicio, vamos a iniciarlo ante Nahual Cabot y llegaremos a la trecena ante Nahual Bats.
Now we're going to start counting from Nawal Kawok and arrive in Nawal Vats.
Go'o'ia, guapitakbal, guqupka, guachapikan, betkame, la juzquies, la juzjani, tablajito, hoy, la juzbats. Dios, apare, y hoy la juzbats, aubats. Por todas aquellas venas y arterias que caminan, que es donde corre la corriente sanguínea, que hoy en esta mañana fluya esa sangre a la mácula para que tengan ese pensamiento positivo todos los días, nuestras hermanas y nuestros hermanos.
Nawal Vats represents the veins. It represents the arteries. It represents the blood flow of our body. So we ask you, Vats, that you let the blood flow properly through our bodies, that you let the blood flow properly to our brains so that our body can be healthy, so that every day we can have positive thoughts, so that every day we can have positivity in our lives. Ay, hola. Is he frozen for you guys too? Okay, bueno, let's wait a minute. I'm sure we'll fix it. He'll be back in a second. It's in Guatemala, internet connection is not always super stable, so sometimes this happens, but we always manage to fix it. So on the meantime, let's just continue having that connection to those energies. Let's continue to, okay, you left the call, I think. Bueno, no importa, vamos a ver. So on the meantime, let's continue having the connection to those energies. And I guess while we wait, maybe I'll just explain it to you, like start explaining to you what I was going to start explaining anyways. And then when he comes back, I'll just stop and I'll continue explaining it soon. So, well, firstly, I hope that you guys are finding this as beautiful as I am. It's very profound, this practice, and I think it's so beautiful to be able to connect with it even from far away. But Tata Alberto as well always says that when it comes to the energy, when it comes to spirituality, that transcends space. It doesn't matter where we're connecting from, as long as we're connecting with our minds, with our hearts, with our spirits, with every part of ourselves. And so this is what I was mentioning at the beginning of the ceremony, right? I don't know if you noticed, but what we're doing mainly is saying gratitude, right? Gratitude to the different parts of our body, gratitude to the animals, gratitude to the different parts of existence that enable our existence. We're sending petitions that for our own healing, for our own well-being. We're connecting to our ancestors, remembering the people who came before us. And that's what Maya ceremonies are all about. And the reason we feel like in moments like the one we're going through right now with this strong cycle of Venus, and I don't know if you guys remember yesterday, I told you, right, that the cycle of Venus is so intense because we're in an 8-year cycle. A month ago, we just entered the energy of the morning star, and all of that is really intense energy. It can it can be really positive if we know how to use it. But how do we navigate it? How do we, yesterday I gave you the metaphor of the wave. The energy of Venus right now is so strong. If you try to send against a wave in the ocean, it's going to crash you. You're going to be rolling around in the water if you try to fight it, right? So Venus's energy right now comes like a wave. Instead of letting it just come all towards us in such an intense way, what we want to learn to do is we want to learn to ride the wave, to surf the wave, right? And so in the Maya world, there are many different practices that we can utilize whenever the energy is that strong. And one of them is Maya fire ceremonies. We wanted to show you this part of our culture because, firstly, it's beautiful, but secondly, so that you can get to see from a real Ahkih, a real Maya spiritual leader, what we mean when we say we practice gratitude. But tomorrow, on day 3, we're going to give you practices that are actually things that you can do at home, things that you don't need an Ahkih, like a Maya spiritual leader, to be able to practice on a daily basis. And so, but we wanted to show you how it is done in the Maya culture. And then we're going to give you tomorrow versions of it that you can do tomorrow. And the recommendation I'm going to give you tomorrow, and that's why I told you every lesson builds on top of the other in this 3-day challenge. So you have to stick with all of it to see how everything that we're doing in this 3 days is going to connect at the end. But we want to give you practices on how to harness the power of your own mind, on how to balance yourself energetically and spiritually, and how to be able to feel that gratitude, and how to take action, in which little tools you can use in your life, from herbs to cacao as well, just to help you as you're going through hard times. And so tomorrow we're going to give you practices that you can do on a daily basis, because remember, the cycle of Venus started 1 month ago and it's 236 days, which means we still have around 200 more days to go as we're riding this wave. And the world, as I mentioned yesterday, and really, if anybody here missed yesterday, I really, really hope you guys watched the recording, because it was the whole, what's the word? Context. It will give you the whole context and all of the understanding of why we're doing these practices. And so we are going to give you things that you can do at home, but we also wanted you to see how it is actually done in the Maya culture before we give you tiny little practices that you can do at home. How the real Maya people and the Maya nations actually do those practices on their daily life and practice their gratitude. And that's why we're doing this ceremony. And I'm going to mute myself for 1 second because the technical person is telling me they need me for 1 minute, but just you keep connecting and thinking about this.
Creo que eres.
Ya está, ya está, ya sí los vemos y escuchamos, Celine.
Ahora
Okay, there, we figured it out. Sorry, technical issues.
Bueno, hemos agradecido a la Velocat, ante el cual hemos finalizado esta trecena. Ahora damos inicio ante Nahual Can para llegar a la trecena del Nahual No.
Now we're moving on from Nahual Can and we'll arrive in the trecena of Nahual No.
Can, Cahí Tamé, Oxiquier, Café Anís, Goto, Guajiti, Gutubat, Guajit E, Merfes A, Lahut Ish, Ulahut Kim, Tablahu Ahmak, Osh, Lahut No, Espíritu de la Sabiduría.
Okay, so just for context, he can't just stop this, so he had to keep going. So we missed Nawal Kat, just so you know. But it still kept on going, and now we're moving on to Nawal Noch, the energy and the spirit of the wisdom.
Agradecemos a Nahual No, a todas las hermanas y hermanos que están conectadas y conectados en este día, y agradecer a nuestro Creador para que nuestra sabiduría fluya cada día más en apertura y comprender a nuestra Madre Tierra.
We thank the Creator and Maker and ask that our brothers and sisters can find a deeper connection with themselves on this sacred day of No, and that the opening to the connection, to the wisdom of the energy and the harmony of nature and Mother Earth starts beginning in them.
No. Gracias, abuelo No.
Thank you, Grandfather.
Damos inicio en esta trecena ante Nahual Tihash para llegar a la trecena de Nahual Tzi.
And now we move on from Nawal Tihash to arrive in the Trecena of Nawal Tzi.
Guardián de las montañas, de los valles, y el espíritu también de la autoridad, que fortalezca la mente y el caminar de cada una de las hermanas y hermanos que están conectados. Gracias, Nahual.
Nawal Tzi, you're the guardian of the mountains. You're the guardian of the valleys. You're the energy that represents justice and authority. So we ask you to create justice and to strengthen the minds of every single one of the people who are connected here. Thank you, Nawal Tzi.
En esta trecena que vamos a dar inicio ante Nahual Batz, llegamos a la trecena ante Nahual Akabal.
Now we're going to move on and start counting from Nawal Batz and arrive on the Trecena of Nawal Akabal.
Gracias, Nahual Batz. Batz, Kai Oshiach, Kahish, Wotikin, Wakit Ahmak, Ukuk Noch, Oshakit Tihash, Belhet Kawok, Lahukak Pu, Ulahukimosh, Kaplahuk Osh Lahuk Akabal.
Now we call in and invoke the energy of Akabal.
Energía del supramundo, energía del inframundo, energía del día, energía de la noche. Que nuestras hermanas y hermanos se fortalezcan. Que el sagrado amanecer y el sagrado anochecer fortalezca sus vidas físicas y su vida espiritual. Gracias, Nahual Akabal.
Energy of the upper world, energy of the underworld, energy of the day, energy of the night. We ask you, Akabal, you that represents both the darkness and the light, that you bring strength to every single one of the brothers and sisters who are present here today. That the energy of the sunrise always brings them strength. That the energy of the sunset always brings them strength. Thank you, Sacred Akabal.
En esta última trecena damos inicio ante Nahual Kat para finalizar en la trecena del Nahual Ahmak. Con esto cerramos el círculo del conteo de los 260 días.
And in this, we're going to count the last trecena before we close the counting of the 260 days. Starting, and we're going to finish in Nawal Ahmak. Yeah.
Unkat, Kaikan, Oshikame, Kajikier, Go Anis, Guapitop, Gokupsi, Guachapit Bats, Delehet Lahuk Ah, Purahuk Ish, Kaplahuk Skin, Osh, Lahuk Ahmak.
Now we call in and invoke the energy of Ahmak.
Agradecemos de esta manera a todas las energías de nuestras abuelas y nuestros abuelos que tuvieron a bien venir, escuchar, sentir esa necesidad de toda la comunidad que está conectada en este momento. Agradecemos de esta manera a la energía de Nahual Ahmak, ante el cual cerramos y le decimos gracias, Nahual Ahmak.
We thank the energy of every single one of the people who are here, who felt the calling to join us today, but who also gave us their energy, their time, who gave us their connection with this energy. And in this way, we say thank you to the energy of Nahual Ahmak. Thank you, Nahual Ahmak.
Gracias, Nahual Ahmak, en nombre de nuestras hermanas y hermanos, que fue posible esa conexión con el Creador y Formador. En nombre de las personas, de nuestras hermanas y hermanos que están conectados, gracias, Creador y Formador. Entrego estas velas.
We say thank
Símbolo
you,
de gozo
Nahual
y alegría.
Nahual Ahmak, for allowing us to be here today. In behalf of every single one of the brothers and sisters who are here, we say thank you. And we gift you these candles and we gift you this incense with joy, with pride, with happiness for the ability that you gave us today to create a connection with the Creator and the Maker.
De esta manera concluimos la conexión espiritual con nuestras abuelas y nuestros abuelos. Gracias, Creador y Formador, por habernos dado la oportunidad de dirigir esa conexión, ser el intermediario entre la energía del cosmos y la energía de cada una de las hermanas y hermanos que estuvieron conectados. Gracias, que ese camino sea un camino plano, un camino verde, un camino de éxito. Bendiciones para cada una y cada uno de ustedes. Tengan un excelente día.
And it is in this way that we conclude the counting of the energies and we're able to close up the sacred fire. So we say thank you to you, Creator and Maker, for being the mediator between the energy of the cosmos, of the earth, and the people who are here. We wish every single one of you a flat path, a green path, a successful path. And we wish you that you have a very happy day. And thank you so much for being here, he says. Kamotat. Muchas gracias, Tata.
Servirle, Tulbay. Ha sido un gusto poder hacer esa conexión entre ustedes y la comunidad que está pendiente, ¿verdad? De esa comunicación espiritual hacia el cosmos y hacia nuestra madre tierra.
Gracias, Tata. Ahí lo voy a ir a ver en estos días, ¿ok? Gusto.
Está bien.
So he says, thank you, Sulvay, and thank you to all of this community that is joining here, who is constantly trying to create a bigger connection with the cosmos, with the Mother Earth. It was a pleasure, he says, for him to be here and to share this with you. So thank you, Mateos, gracias. Oh, now he's going to be there in the background. He's closing up. He still has to do the invocation, by the way, to close it up. So yes, I'm glad we could finish it because I was worried with the technical issues, but we only missed like a few minutes, so it's all good. But I'm really grateful to you guys. I love Tata Alberto so much. He's amazing, and I hope you guys can see that too. And this is one of the most ancient practices of the Maya tradition. It is one of those practices that I think is so profound because not only does it teach us to be better members of society, better members of this community, better children of Mother Earth, which is the whole point, something that has always absolutely blown my mind about the Maya tradition is that the point of life for them, the purpose of life, is to have a useful existence. That's like all you have to worry about achieving in your life. It means if the day you die, you left the world even a tiny bit better, then your existence was meaningful. And that's what the Maya truly believe in. And I think in these times that Venus is bringing so much change, so many shifts, it's so important that we all start caring about having that useful existence. As I said to you yesterday, the spirituality of nowadays has a name, and that name is action. And before we can take action for the rest of the world, we have to first take care of ourselves. According to the Maya people, first we have to take care of ourselves as individuals, because how can we go and change the world if we're disbalanced, if we're not in harmony, if we're not okay? And to me, practices like this cover both the ability to make us better human beings, but also the ability to heal ourselves, to find more balance within ourselves. And I think personally that that's powerful, that that's beautiful, that that's incredible. And it resonates so much with me, and I really do hope that it resonates with you as well. So to close it up, I'll just explain you a couple of different short concepts, and then share some things with you, and then we'll close it up. It went a little longer, but that's the thing with Maya ceremonies. We can never plan for the time, and we have to respect how long they last, because they last what they last. If that's 20 minutes, that's 20 minutes. If that's 4 hours, we would have to be here for 4 hours, because that's just the way it is. You can't give it a timeline. But so it went a little longer. So today's session maybe will be a little bit longer, but I'm grateful if you stay with me. So I'll just share a slide right now. Okay. So yesterday I mentioned something, and now we learned the importance of gratitude, the importance of connecting ourselves in this way, the importance of this kinds of practice. But I want to go back to talking about how sacred, how profound this wisdom truly is, right? And why practices like the one we saw today and practices like the one we're going to learn tomorrow are so important. In the Maya tradition, everything is, snakes are super sacred, okay? And it's a long story why, but snakes are super sacred because the Maya believe that everything in this universe, everything in this existence is a snake-like spiral. The Maya believe that we live in some sort of illusion, the big illusion, they call it. And everything inside of space and time exists inside of what they call the snake-like spiral. Hunrakan Kakulha is the name in Maya, the 1-foot snake, the ray of the 1-foot snake. Why is this meaningful? Because the spiral has a really profound meaning in the Maya tradition. Firstly, the Maya notice that it repeats itself everywhere, from the macro to the micro. In the Maya tradition, they believe that the universe is shaped like a snake-like spiral. But then we look at different examples of that. The galaxy, for instance, is also shaped like a snake-like spiral. Then we have, how we put a photo of seashells there, is shaped like a snake-like spiral. It's also the sacred counterclockwise movements. When snakes want to protect themselves, they roll up counterclockwise. Beans grow around the cornstalk in a counterclockwise spiral movement. That counterclockwise spiral snake-like movement repeats itself everywhere. I'll share with you tomorrow some ways to actually utilize that snake-like counterclockwise spiral movement to balance your own energy when you feel disbalance, and it takes 1 minute. It's crazy, but we'll do some fun tests and you'll see how crazy it is. Anyways, our DNA is also shaped like a snake-like spiral too, So the Maya believe that everything from the macro to the micro is a reflection of each other, which brings me to my next point. How to heal, how to heal through the spiral movement. So in the Maya tradition, and that's why tomorrow I can't wait to show you this really fun practice of like how to literally just balance it's so crazy, you won't believe it, but literally just balance your energy, with that snake-like movement. And it takes 5 minutes and it changes your life. but we'll talk about that tomorrow. But for the Maya, anyways, you know, the modern Western world has more like a linear mindset. How do I get from point A to point B? It says it sees healing like a line, like a straight line. Okay, I'm going to go from point A to point B in my healing. I'm going to go from point A and point B in this area of my life. It forces us to grow in a straight path. Oftentimes it seeks a one-time fix. Unfortunately, we see that a lot of that in the modern Western world. And oftentimes that gets us surface level results. In the Maya tradition, on the contrary, we have a spiral mindset. It aligns with the spiral flow of life because, as I said, we literally observe that all over nature. Even the earth goes around in a counterclockwise movement, you know? It's all over nature, right? And the Maya were great observers of that. It goes deeper with each layer, like who here has felt. I personally have this experience often where I feel like I learned a lesson and then maybe I actually forget that lesson and then I learn it again and I'm like, right, I already knew that. How did I forget that? But the second time I learn it deeper. You know what I mean? It's one of those things that is hard to explain, but you can just, you know, if you've experienced it, then you probably know what I'm talking about, right? So the Maya is like, they go deeper and deeper and deeper, but simultaneously they keep going back to basics as well all the time. That's the way in which they believe healing is most efficient. You learn more stuff, new stuff, but then boop, at another point of the spiral, you go back to the same lesson that you already learned, but from a new perspective, from a deeper level. And so that, to me, it makes perfect sense because I've experienced it in my life, and it is profound. It's a profound way to heal. So it goes deeper with each layer and it creates sustainable transformation, and it's realistic as well about the different cycles that we go through in our life. Men have cycles, women have cycles, Venus has cycles, and the Chulkij has cycles. Everything is a cycle. And some of the cycles, can you stop sharing? And we can go up and down. And, you know, a spiritual leader, she told me once, she was like, you know, we think of life as a path, but really it's more like this, you know, it goes up and down and in circles, and then all of a sudden you're back at the beginning and then you move back to that place. And something that for me has been the most healing thing, and I'm so grateful to my dad. I'm so grateful for him to teach me this, is and that the Maya tradition is realistic. And that's what I love the most about it. It acknowledges actual human nature. It acknowledges both the light and the darkness. It acknowledges that sometimes we're mentally strong and we're there and we can move forward faster. And sometimes we fall and it's hard and we have no energy and we can move a little bit backwards. And it acknowledges the facts of life. It acknowledges that we'll run into good people, but we'll also run into people that bring challenges into our life. It acknowledges health issues. It acknowledges reality. It acknowledges life exactly as it is and how it is supposed to be. It acknowledges how fair and beautiful life is, as well as how unfair it can be sometimes. And it acknowledges that it's okay that sometimes it's unfair, and then it even goes ahead and it teaches us this whole essence of when you think life is unfair, sorry, you're not the victim, you have the power. And then it gives you all the tools to actually move through Xibalba, to actually move through the challenges of life. But I just can't miss mentioning the spiral, because I think that that's profound. And as we're going through the cycles of Venus that are so strong, that are so intense, it's okay to go through those ups and downs. It's okay to move forward in that spiral. But the Maya teach us, okay, this is how life is. And if you don't become as my dad used to call it, the creator of your personal reality, if you're not conscious, if you don't utilize this information, then it's going to be like the water will just throw you in every direction and you'll just run around. But if you're conscious, he said, you're still experiencing the same life as everybody else, but you can start creating the reality that you want to create. And you do that with the power of your brain, which is the biggest doctor, the biggest healer, the biggest machine, the biggest tool. You do that with the power of your spirit, with your emotional body, with your physical body, with the crazy amount of strength that every single one of us has been given in this life that sometimes we forget about because we're just like walking around like zombies, and sometimes we even forget that we're alive. But that's, what I want to start sharing with you today, because my dad changed my life. Mayan wisdom changed my life, and I can't wait for tomorrow to start teaching you some practical things that you can apply in your life that changed my life, and I hope that they will have an impact in yours too. If even one person has their life changed from this, then I did my job. So anyways, so basically that's it. We're gonna start closing it up in a minute. We just decided to start doing this thing during live events to support our customer service team, because there's a lot of people here, okay? And then they receive sometimes hundreds of emails. So we decided to just start sharing some information live to support them, because it's just Anna and Alina sitting there in a computer, and they're awesome. If you guys know them, they're the best, by the way. But there's only enough time in the day to answer emails, so in order to get back to you, we started to notice, like, I don't know, a year and a half ago or something, that during live events we always receive the exact same question. That's what a spiritual leader told me the other day. He was like, you get it, right? Once you start with Mayan wisdom, you get hooked. And I was like, and actually, I know exactly what you mean. You want to know what's next, what more can I learn, and all of that. And so out of all of our frequently asked questions, that's the one we received the most. Like, I love learning about Venus, or last time it was, I love learning about the equinox, I love learning about this, but how can I keep going? Like, I want to learn about herbs now, I want to learn about everything, I want to learn about the calendars, I want to learn about the Cholquij. What was that thing that Alberto mentioned, and what are the Nahuales, and what is this, and what is that? And then oftentimes our team collapses a little bit every time there's a live event because we just want to share as much as we can, but it's a little hard to answer questions for so many people. So at the beginning of the Mayan Wisdom Project, I started this project with my dad. We always had this idea to create something that is sustainable, that is respectful, that is actually able to share Mayan wisdom in a way that everybody can receive it in a way that is authentically and truly helpful and healing for people, because it helped me so much. Sometimes when something helps you so much, you just want to share it with everyone else, you know what I mean? And so my dad, and we started this project in 2020, tough year, as everybody remembers probably. And he also passed away in 2020. And so I made it the mission of my life to continue to honor his legacy. And there was a project we started. This is the project we started together, but one of the things that he wanted to do was share as much wisdom as he could, because we entered a cycle with the change of the 13 Baktum, where the prediction said that, right now is the time to share. Before, the Maya people it was not allowed to share with the rest of the world all of their wisdom. But that shifted because the predictions showed like how much hardship we're going to be going through collectively and as a humanity, and especially out of worry for Mother Earth and all of the destruction. The Maya people thought maybe this is a good time to start teaching people to be in harmony with nature and stuff, because otherwise we're all gonna die. So because we're destroying the planet, So my dad was passionate about sharing, and he inherited that passion to me. I'm also really passionate about sharing, but in the most respectful of ways. And so we came up with a course that we thought could be life-changing. So that's my dad right there, Tata Carlos, the one sitting there in the house that I'm sitting in right now. Actually, that's our garden. So this is like where we recorded, like the last thing he did was record a video course for the Mayan Wisdom Project with me. And so that's a photo from the recording. So we basically partner up with a lot of teachers here at the Mayan Wisdom Project. And my dad, of course, from the sky or the clouds or wherever he may be, he's still one of the teachers. Then we have an incredible collective of women we work with in Alta Verapaz. And the boss, the queen of cacao, is Elsa. She collaborates with a lot of women in her family, as well as Hector, her husband. We're doing a lot of social projects with them as well in their community. We're supporting a family, no, I'm sorry, a small community of 108 families as part of where the profits of everything we do go towards reviving the ancient agriculture, bringing them access to water and electricity. And Elsa and Hector are like helping me lead that project, which has been a lot of fun. But basically, they're experts in the topic of cacao, and we know everybody loves cacao, so they're very important teachers here. They're from the Kekchi Nation. Then we have Raquel from the Cachiquel Nation. She lives in San Martin Jilotepeque. Behind her is her nursery. She has a medicinal plant farm. She comes from a long line of Maya herbalists and healers. Her mom's a healer, her dad was a healer, her grandma was a healer, her aunt was a healer. She comes from a really long line. She creates this herbal blends and mixes, and I have seen her heal so many people in my life from illnesses. I always knew how powerful natural Maya medicine is, but I have gained a new level of respect for it because it has changed my life, the life of my family, the life of some of my friends. Yeah, Raquel knows what's up when it comes to medicine, basically, so it's awesome. Alberto needs no introduction. You just met him. So he's an Arquij with decades of experience as an Arquij, and he also is the master of the brain. I love him so much for that. His obsession, his area of specialty is how to master your own brain in order to heal yourself and achieve your full potential. And guys, I'm obsessed with that. So we have an amazing team of people. And so what we came up to do, because at the beginning of the Mayan Wisdom Project, we just had a million little courses, a million little live events, a million little everything. And it was so messy and unsustainable for us. We were like, you know what? Let's put it all together. And so what we created is called The Journey. It's a 1-year self-paced program. It lasts 12 months, and it has video courses, like video lessons. You see in the little corner right there is me and my dad. That was the first one we recorded. And since then, we've recorded courses with all of the incredible teachers. It has all kinds of practical exercises. For us, what's important is that in the Maya tradition, it is believed that knowledge is useless without wisdom, and wisdom is the ability to put the knowledge that you have into practice by taking action. So this is not just a learn knowledge, it's also how to apply it into your life and be very practical and action-based when it comes to the way in which you can experiment and apply Maya wisdom into your life. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the journey for a few brief minutes. All right, let's go to the next slide. Okay, so the way it started, right? We created it, it took us years. We collaborated with so many spiritual leaders. We traveled all around Guatemala for years to create it. It was 1 year. It is 1 year of spiral, deep lessons of practices, video courses, practical exercises, a lot more. Next slide. But we decided to make it even cooler by giving people access to, like, we like to go the extra mile. So we want everybody to have access to every single thing that we can offer. So when you join the journey, you also receive the cacao healing course. There's that beautiful photo of Elsa. It's basically everything you want to know about cacao and how to use it into your life. It's usually priced at $224, but it's just for free. It's included in the journey. So you receive the 1 year deep lessons and practices that are taught in the spiral way, by the way, because we really believe in the spiral healing thing. And then also you receive the cacao healing course. You also will receive the herbal healing course, because every time I get obsessed with something, I just want to share it with people. And since for a year, Raquel has been teaching me a lot about herbalism, I was like, okay, how can I give all this information to everyone? It's a course that we're working on it. And so it's amazing. It's already there, but we're adding more information to it as soon as possible. It's life-changing. So anyways, by joining the journey, you receive the 1 year access, the cacao healing course, and the herbal healing course. Okay. In addition to that, even though it's a 1 year journey, you actually will receive lifetime access, because we know that, maybe sometimes you're going to go travel on vacation or whatever, and you might not have time to do everything every single month. So we want to, make sure that you have time to do it. By the way, time, we planned it in a way where it's sustainable in your life, like you can actually have the time to do it. So we made the core journey sustainable, even if you have a job, even if you have kids and everything. And then what we did for the people who want to go really crazy and just spend all day learning mind wisdom is we added a lot of bonuses so that you can, the core, like the basics that you need, you can do in your own time, the actual journey, but then it includes a lot of bonuses so that you can also go deeper if you, I don't know, if you're that kind of person. So it's lifetime access and free updates. Elena and I, my niece, who you maybe saw for a second today, we are obsessed with making the journey better and better and better and better and better. We never are going to stop working on this journey. It's already better. We've literally worked on this for years. It's already amazing. Anyone who's in the journey can probably agree with me. But we know we can make it even better. We're obsessed with making things as best as we can make them. So you're going to also receive access to any updates that we make. It also includes lifetime support. So our customer service is amazing. Anne, Eline, we love you. They're the best. If you've talked to them, you know it. And every time you have questions about anything, you can post in the Journeys private community, but also you can email us. So, okay, just to recap, the journey includes the 1-year journey of deep lessons and practices that are taught in a spiral manner, the cacao healing course, the herbal healing course, and then the lifetime access and the support. So the usual value of the journey, if you would add it up, would be $2,308. But I have really, really good news for you. It's not actually that price, one. So here's what happened. Basically, for the first year of the journey, we just needed to, I'll just say it as clearly as it is. We just needed to be able to afford producing it. We paid all of the teachers that we collabed incredibly well for the work that they did. We partner up with filmmakers all over Guatemala in order to, we had to travel around Guatemala for more than a year in order to record all of the content. It was a lot of work here, guys, basically. So the original version of the journey was called the Mind Wisdom Journey, and the people who participated in it basically funded the whole project, and they received some extra things because it was moderated. There was live calls and all kinds of things, but our goal was always to ultimately make it accessible to everybody for the cheapest price that we could find. And so now that it's been created and it's already a really the best version that it can be, we lowered the prices for the whole year, by the way. It's for a lifetime access to $497. But I have even better news for you guys. You went back, not forth. Okay. We have a special offer for the Venus event. So we're going to do 30% off the normal price. So you're going to receive the 1-year spiral of deep lessons and practices, the cacao healing course, the herbal healing course, the lifetime access, and the support for $347 with this Venus offer, because we're doing the Venus event. And sometimes when people join us in live events, we just like to treat them to special offers. So next. So in addition to that, we just wanted to also include not only bonuses, but also some free gifts into this, because we want to make the pricing as fair as possible. And so we want to gift you as much as we can and just give you access to everything that we can give you access to while still being sustainable, you know? So basically, we're also going to give you some free gifts. So a golden ticket to our famous 20-day cacao challenge. The cacao challenge happens twice a year. It's live, guided. We meet every day for 20 days and we drink cacao together and we learn about the Cholqui calendar. You remember how it has 20 energies? That's why we meet for 20 days. Each day we learn about each one of the energies and drink a cup of cacao and try different cacao recipes. The next one is starting in 1 week, right? So basically, the next one is starting in 1 week. So if you join now, you'll also be able to get in for free. We do have a free version always, but what this golden ticket includes is access to the recordings. It does not include the cacao, but it includes access to the recordings forever. Every single time you join the cacao challenge, you'll get free access to the recordings because that's usually valued at $47. So basically, you'll always get them for free for the rest of your life until I continue to do cacao challenges, which I feel like will be for the rest of my life. Okay, so next. Okay, so well, basically, it includes everything that I already told you, but also we added some free gifts. So one of the first free gift is a golden ticket to the 20-day cacao challenge. Also, by joining by, oh my God, there's a mistake there. I don't know why it says Sunday 23rd, but by Wednesday, because this offer is temporary until Wednesday, you'll also receive access to our private community. The private community is basically a community for everybody who's in the journey so that you guys can go through it together, because the Maya see a lot of value in learning in community as well. And so the idea is that we created a community. It's been so awesome to watch the community right now because they organized themselves and started doing Zoom calls with each other to discuss like all the courses and the practices that they've been doing and talking to each other. And it's people from all around the world. You can be as involved or as not involved in the community as you wish, but it's an awesome community. So we have this like private space that looks almost like a social media style area where you can make posts, chat with other people, connect with everybody who's going through the journey, and it's pretty cool. So it includes the ticket to the 20-day cacao challenge lifetime access and the private community for the journey. And now by joining until Wednesday 7, that's correct. I don't know what happened before, typo mistake, but this offer is going to be available until this Wednesday, right? Which is Wednesday, the 7th of May. You'll also receive, and we probably shouldn't have done this. Everybody was like, Zulma, what's up with you? But I just really want to give you as much value as I can give you for becoming a part of this journey. And so we also are going to give you a $50 gift card to the Maya Market. The Maya Market, we collaborate from artisans and small producers from the different indigenous nations from all around Guatemala. In it, you'll find cacao, herbs, the ones that Raquel, the great healer, makes. You'll find obsidian stones. You'll find beautiful necklaces made out of obsidian, out of jade, out of different kinds of crystals. You'll find candles like the ones you saw in the ceremony today. You'll find jicaras, which are this cacao drinking cups made from a sacred squash tree in the Maya tradition. Everything is 100% made. Everything in our Mayan market supports local artisans and local small family-owned businesses here all over Guatemala. And so basically you can buy anything that you want for $50, and $50, trust me, will get you some pretty cool stuff. So that's also another one of the gifts that we wanted to give you guys. So yeah, you'll receive the 1 year of lessons, the cacao healing course, the herbal healing course, the lifetime access and support, plus access to every 20-day cacao challenge for free for the rest of times, the journey on the private community, the journey's private community, and also a $50 gift card so that you can get some amazing handmade, handcrafted stuff all the way to your home, wherever it is you might be located. And instead of it being $497, it has a 30% discount. It's $347. So additionally, just because we are working so hard on this journey, we just wanted to make you know that you're completely safe. So it includes a 90-day money back guarantee. So basically you can try the journey for 3 months, and if you don't like it, we're not going to ask you why, because we want to achieve that you guys love it. And so we know that you're going to love it. If somebody says, I don't like it, we would be very confused, to be honest, because we have poured our heart and soul into it, and to just give you that trust and prove it to you that this program is super amazing. We're super happy to just give you your money back, no questions asked, within 90 days if you don't like the journey for any reason. Okay, so we're gonna meet again tomorrow, same time, same place. If you already were wondering how to continue learning Maya wisdom, as I said, we have poured our hearts and our souls and our time and years of work and everybody's time and energy and a lot of work, many hours of work into creating this amazing program that we believe includes everything that you need in order to truly get that base of Mayan wisdom and utilize it for your own healing and learn this incredible wisdom that is so life-changing and so profound, is hard to express with words, just how incredibly profound the wisdom of the Maya truly is. So if you're wondering how to go deeper, that's the answer. And remember, that's going to be available only until this Wednesday, that special offer. Where if you're wondering where to find it or whatever, don't worry, we're just going to send you that info via email. Also, Martin from the Mind Wisdom Project just posted it in the chat right now, but we're also going to send it to you via email soon, as well as we're going to send you the recording of today's event. So if you missed any parts of it, or you just want to revisit the ceremony or revisit some of the teachings, you're going to have access to that. Please join me tomorrow for day 3 of the Venus Challenge. It's going to be awesome. Alberto has shared with me, as well as my dad, crazy practices to hack your mind and to hack your life, and I'm really excited to share them with you so that you can get better through the next 200 days. I really hope that you enjoyed today's Maya Fire ceremony. If it was your first one, I really hope it was also interesting for you to witness a part of our culture that is so important for us, so important to share our culture respectfully and correctly and in a beautiful way that is helpful to you as well. And so I really hope that you liked it. So cheers. I'm drinking some cacao, and then I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 3, same time, same place, and bring all your energy and let's master this Venus cycle together. See you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.